opposite of theta is equal to what of sin theta? Why? It was there in school syllabus. Therefore, hai na? Yes. No, I don't want that answer. Because it was there in 10th, you are answering, then that is not correct. Sine of opposite of theta is equal to opposite of sin theta. That answer is correct. But then why? Why is that correct? Theta is a measure of an angle, which is given to us. What is opposite of theta? Tu sir. Okay, so correct. So let us consider unit circle. Theta is the measure of an angle and minus theta is measured it in clockwise direction. Therefore, this is minus theta measure and this is theta measure. And now we are comparing their y values. So we are looking at y-axis. Correct, na? So I am standing here and looking at y-axis. Therefore, sine of opposite of theta will have negative sign. Distance wise, both of them will be equal. If you look at distance from origin to this point and distance from origin to this point, they are same. But the sign wise, they will be opposite. And therefore, sine opposite of theta will be opposite of sine theta. Okay? Good. Very good. Cos of opposite of theta is equal to cos theta. Why? This is theta. This is cos theta. Same as Rana. Samajhte everyone on the same page. Cos theta, cos of opposite of theta doesn't matter. It is cos theta. And if I have these two, then can I write tan of opposite of theta? Sec of opposite of theta, cosec of opposite of theta, cot of opposite of theta is equal to. Yes, tan of opposite of theta is opposite minus tan theta. Sec of, see, sec of opposite, I am saying opposite, you are saying minus. Technically opposite is correct. Minus, it's you are subtracting something. One something minus something means two numbers are being subtracted. Okay? And if you want to express minus 2, that means it is opposite of 2. Okay? Okay. I mean, just technical. Sec of theta. Cosec is opposite of cosec theta. Cot theta is, cot minus theta is minus cot. Good. Pause करेला करते हैं, pause कर. Doubt.
When the angle will come in second quadrant,
Yes.
even if we are considering the opposite angle, it would not be negative.
Very good question. Question is, if the angle is coming in second quadrant, even if we are considering in clockwise direction, it will not be negative. That is what you want to say. Okay. So, let us consider one angle, this terminal ray. Now, this terminal ray has reached this position by traveling this way. That is what you mean? Okay. Suppose it is 120 degree position from this side. Therefore, this is minus 240 degree. Right? Okay. Now, the question is, let us write down whatever we have learned. Sine minus 240 is equal to. Tell me the value. Sine minus 240. It is not there in that table. Sine minus 240. How much? Root 3 by 2. Sine 240. How much? Minus root 3 by 2. Therefore, this implies sine opposite of 240 is equal to opposite of sine 240. True. Still true. Doesn't matter in which quadrant that fellow goes and sits, the rule is going to be true. Because the positive angle that you are looking at is negative. And therefore opposite of opposite is positive. Therefore it ends up being positive. And therefore we did it for theta, not for specific angle. We did it for theta. Theta could be any angle, measured in any direction, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Every time those results are going to be true. Good, very good question. Now, one thing that we are going to do, in fact, we have to do it for all 6 cases, but we will do it systematically for one and learn how to go about it, because those we are going to draw graphs of this sine, cos, tan. So now pay proper attention, it is important. I have a unit circle and I have different terminal ray positions, practically infinitely many positions, starting from terminal ray theta is equal to 0 back to theta is equal to 360. So practically for every value between 0 to 360 there will be a terminal ray position which will give us sine value, y coordinate. Will it happen that for some angles sine value will not be present? Any terminal ray position, say between 0 to 2 pi, that is 360, will it happen that sine value is not present for some position of terminal ray? Is it possible? No. Sine value will be available for every position. Doesn't matter whether that terminal ray is in first, second, third, fourth, or it is in the alignment with the axis. Doesn't matter. Every time we will get some sine value or cos value. In case of tan and those reciprocal ratios, maybe we have to skip some angles where the ratios are undefined. But for sine and cos, it is available for every angle, right? And therefore, if I wish to plot theta versus sine theta, theta on x-axis and sine theta on y-axis, I would like to find out what is the nature of this curve, how it behaves. Theta goes from minus infinity from left hand side of x-axis to the right hand side of x-axis, because theta is r. So it can take every value of real numbers. That means any point on x-axis, right, starting right from negative x-axis, negative infinity to positive infinity. If I choose any point value of x, I should be able to find out value of sine theta and should be able to plot, check whether it is correct or not. So for that, see, what is most important is the positions of terminal rays in so these are my standard positions of terminal rays when the angles are standard that I have drawn. Say for example, first ray here is 30 degree, so this is half, this is root 3 by 2. This is second ray is 45 degree, therefore this is 1 upon root 2, this is 1 upon root 2. Third ray is 60 degree, this is root 3 by 2, this is half. Fourth ray maybe is 90 degree, where this is 1 and cos is 0. Minus 30, this is minus half, root 3 by 2, minus 1 upon root 2, plus 1 upon root 2, minus root 3 by 2, plus half. And here sine is minus 1, cos is 0. So these are the positions of standard terminal rays that I have drawn. And now every terminal ray in between will give me some values. Say if I draw a terminal ray here, that value, sine value will be between 0 to half. Understood or not? If I draw any terminal ray over here in between, then cos value will be between root 3 by 2 and 1. Suppose I draw any terminal ray here, which is between 0 to 30, then its sine value is this distance, which is between 0 to half. And its cos value is this distance from here to here, which is between 1 and root 3 by 2. Can you see that? Therefore, I will be able to predict values of these terminal rays as far as sine and cos is concerned between these standard positions, between these standard angles. So it is important for me to first plot these standard angles because their values are available to me. Their values are in the table, those values are available to me, and hence I will start plotting these points on a graph paper. And the thing that I will do is I will take this as x-axis. Okay. Now graph paper has got limitations, so I will hold the graph paper in horizontal position. Maybe I will draw the graph paper also. This is my graph paper. Which I will give you and you will also draw. Then I will consume about 2 centimeters to the left by drawing half unit circle, because there is no point in drawing later half of the unit circle because terminal rays in second and third quadrant will provide me same sine values that of those in first and fourth quadrant. Clear? So when I am drawing theta versus sine theta, I will just draw half semicircle, use only those 2 centimeters, and then from here to here, whatever centimeters that I have, I will divide them in half to get my y-axis. This will be my x-axis. Okay. Now we are drawing it to scale. To scale means x-axis, scale on x-axis and scale on y-axis is exactly same. Therefore, the arc length. Now, suppose the advantage here is, suppose I move in theta radian, because this is unit circle, how much distance am I traveling along circumference? When I am moving along theta radian, how much distance am I traveling along circumference? Theta into r, but r is 1, therefore theta. So numerical value of theta, suppose this is pi by 6, which is 30 degrees. So numerical value of pi by 6, so for all practical purposes, let us take pi value is 3.14 upon 6. So whatever this numerical value is, say for example little less than, little greater than half. So actually this distance will be little greater than half circumference. Okay. So this advantage I will take, and maybe not directly for this, but then what will be my 2 pi position? Suppose I travel along the entire circumference, 2 pi, then I will be back to this point, and therefore my 2 pi, that means 2 into 3.14, which is 6.28. So suppose my 2 pi point I take on 6.28 centimeters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.28. So suppose I consider this as my point 2 pi, that means I am traveling along the circumference. एवढा छोटा आहे ना, नाही तर मोठा येतो. Something like this. This is 2 pi. Arey, do you understand how am I trying to plot? No. This circumference is going to be theta. So if I say I complete rotation and I go back to this point, then how much distance have I traveled? 2 pi. For all practical purposes, value of pi is 3.14. I want to eventually plot it down in centimeters, in millimeters. Therefore, I will consider 6.28 centimeters as 2 pi, wherever that point is. And therefore, I can divide it into 2. Therefore, my half will be pi. Therefore my further half will be 3 pi by 2, further half will be pi by 4. If I divide this pi in 3 parts, it will be pi by 2 pi by 3, this will be pi by 3. If I divide this pi by 3 in half, I will get 30-degree position, that is pi by 6. Are you there? So I plot my 2 pi first and then approximately do the divisions to get all the special angles. Now what am I supposed to do is just draw horizontal lines. I mean those lines are there on the graph paper. Follow this line. This is my half. This is my sine 30 distance. This is sine 30. And therefore I will find out where is my 30-degree angle. This is my 30-degree angle and this is my sine 30. So this point is important to me. 1 upon root 2. This line is 1 upon root 2. Sine 45 is this. Maybe this. That is why. Okay, this is pi by 2 and this is pi by 3. So pi by 4 is here. Something like this. Pi by 2, what is my sine pi by 2 value? 1. So I go, take this line 1, plot it here. Something like this. 1. So at least for all special points between 0 to 2 pi, I can actually get those points done. And then I assume that there will be smooth curve in between and then maybe I will draw them, join them. Okay, what is say pi? Suppose I am here. What will be the sine value? 0. So is this point going to be on my curve? Yes. What will be 2 pi? 0. So again this point will be on my curve. Yes. Same, let us finish this exercise of doing these points from 0 to 2 pi and then we will think about what will happen from minus 2 pi to 0. We need to just copy or maybe we need to reflect. So next 15-20 minutes I am going to give you graph papers on which you are going to do this job. Maybe I don't know whether you have got pencil, straight edge, compass or not, but pencil and scale will be required. If you don't have pencil, I can supply you pencil with eraser if you want. But most important, I need to give you graph papers. Pause. Okay, now when we are trying to plot cos values, our x-axis setup will be the same. All the points that we have plotted on x-axis will remain exactly same. Now we need to correspondingly find out what is the x value and hence plot cos theta. So in the another graph paper, you are going to set up exactly the same situation, everything same. Only thing is that we are plotting theta versus cos theta. And then suppose this is your pi by 2, this is pi, etc. At that point we are not going to follow the horizontal line, but we will take horizontal distance in compass and plot it vertically here. Right, do you understand? Because we are supposed to plot cos. Cos means x-axis distance, this x coordinate. So horizontal distance is to be made vertical and plot. That is how we are supposed to draw cos curve, and it will look little different than sine curve. We need to find out what is the difference between them. Yes, so maybe start doing it and let me tell you how to go about plotting actually those 2 points. So another graph paper, you start doing exactly same work for x-axis. And we are not going to take directly y values from unit circle, but their corresponding x distances we will plot. Okay, understood? Okay. First point that you have, pi by 6, what should be the y coordinate of that? I mean, this distance. So actually this distance was available here at 60. So if you follow that 60-degree line but plot a point for pi by 6, it will be somewhere here. Arey, ho ya nahi? So that distance is available somewhere, but the ray need to be followed is little different. 30 is sin 30 is cos 90 minus 30, है ना? So cos 60. So cos 60 value will be sin 30. आपल्याला what were we trying to find out? Cos 30 we want. It is sin 60. Sin 60 will be cos 30, and so on, using school trigonometry. So just plot that point. Correct hai, correct hai, correct hai. What will be 0? When x coordinate is 0, cos 0 is going to be equal to 1, that is 90 degree. So first point will be here, second point will be little here, something like that, and pi by 2 will be 0. And anyway you have got that table with you, we have created that table, so you can refer to your cos value, cos theta, and plot. So we should be able to complete sin theta, theta versus sin theta, and cos versus cos theta, theta versus cos theta. These two curves we should be able to complete. Distance formula, everyone knows? Very good. So we have defined theta to be a real number, and we said that terminal ray position that we will get for that value of theta will tell us the rotation history of that terminal ray also. By knowing the value theta, we will come to know the rotation history. So we took example of 30-degree terminal ray. And the same picture will be true for, say, angle 390 or minus 330. We will have exactly same diagram for infinitely many values of theta. Diagram will be same, and therefore sin value for that angle that we are considering will be exactly same, because that is this distance. We have understood that. So now, because we have increased the domain, the values of theta from 0 to pi by 2 to r, and we define that those trigonometric ratios in little different way, we may or may not be in trouble. We will find out. Suppose 1000 degree, I say, then how will we find out the terminal ray position of this angle? How we will find out? How will we find out 1000 degrees? I want to draw an angle whose measure is 1000 degrees. Suppose I want to actually draw that angle. How will we do that? Divide by 360. Then what you will get? This is not divisible by 360. So can we say that this 1000 can be caught between 720 and 1080. And what is so good about this 720 and 1080? They are multiples of 360. So any angle, doesn't matter what measure it is, we can always catch between multiple of 2 pi n times 2 pi less than theta less than n plus 1 times 2 pi. Every angle that is given to us, theta belonging to r, will always lie between n 2 pi to n plus 1 2 pi. Is that right? And therefore, if we really want to draw that angle on unit circle, what do we need to do? We need to subtract this number, smaller number, from theta then we will end up getting into 0 to 2 pi. Arey, samajhte ka? So suppose this is the case, 1000. So if I subtract what? Theta minus n 2 pi. If I subtract, then I will get, say, value theta dash. And theta dash is going to be between 0 to 2 pi. So for 1000, what will be that value? 1000 minus 720 will be 280. 280. So I am calling 280 as theta dash, which is, and 1000 is my theta. So theta and theta dash, even though those values are different, those real numbers are different, their terminal ray position will be the same. And hence trigonometric ratios will be the same. Arey, do you all understand this?
Yes, sir.
Our ratios, our trigonometric ratios are defined based on the position of terminal ray, where it intersects unit circle. So far terminal ray position is known to us, doesn't matter what that angle is. If we could find out what is its terminal ray position, we could find out its trigonometric ratio. So for every angle theta, this will happen. Is that right? In other words, can I say that any theta given to me, any theta angle given to me can be expressed as 2n pi plus theta dash, where theta dash belongs to 0 less than equal to theta dash less than equal to 2 pi. So, okay, we have theta belonging to R. Okay, we know its rotational history. But eventually, the picture that we want to look at for finding out different values of trigonometric ratio is the picture between 0 to 2 pi that is good enough for me. And based on that picture, I will find out what is the value of that terminal ray and what is the sine value of that angle, what is the cosine value of that angle, etc. So every time I will be able to write this. Therefore, we really need not have to worry about what is this angle theta. We need to worry about what is its position in 0 to 2 pi rotation. Okay. So now let us take two terminal rays and try to build a formula for difference of two angles. Okay. So just look at what we are trying to do now. This is terminal ray number 1, whose measure is alpha, whose actual measure is alpha, but after doing that business I can say that this is alpha dash. Okay. Can I here itself, can I say sine theta is equal to, can you tell me what is sine theta equal to? It will be sine theta dash. Why? Because it doesn't matter how many times earlier you have completed your rotations, finally your position is theta dash, and therefore sine theta is equal to theta dash. What will be cos theta? Cos theta dash. So suppose this is alpha dash, maybe it is alpha, some bigger value, but finally I am interested in what is its position in unit circle. Now suppose this is my beta dash. Okay. Now let us give names to this. This is origin, this is A, point is 1, 0. Now this is my P. Okay, P is supposed to be x, y. But now we said x is cos theta and y is sin theta. Therefore, can you tell me in terms of trigonometric ratios, can you tell me coordinates of P? Arey, everyone, samajhte ka? What is coordinate of P? Cos alpha dash, comma, sin alpha dash. What will be coordinates of Q? Cos beta dash, comma, sin beta dash. Okay? And therefore, if we consider how much will this angle be, This total angle from here to here is beta dash. This angle from here to here is alpha dash. So what will be this remaining angle? This will be beta dash minus alpha dash. And let me complete this triangle APQ. And now I would like to copy that triangle over here. This is alpha dash comma beta dash. Now I can take this measure of this terminal ray as beta dash minus alpha dash and let it intersect at this point, which is R, whose coordinates are cos beta dash minus alpha dash comma sin beta dash minus alpha dash. Correct? And let me join this. Now, are these two triangles congruent? OQP and OAR, are they congruent triangles? By which test? SAS, correct. So, OPQ congruent to OAR by SAS. And therefore, by SCT, PQ, which is PQ square, is equal to AR square. Yes or no? Distance PQ, its square should be equal to distance AR, its square, because distance formula involves that radical sign and we don't want to get into that. Therefore, I have taken squares. So now you know distance formula, therefore you should be able to find out PQ square. We know coordinate of P, we know coordinate of Q. You should be able to find out AR square because you know coordinate of R, you know coordinate of A. And then maybe do some simplification to get some identity. Fast. What is PQ square? X1 square minus x2 square plus y1 square minus y2 square. Now, what is distance formula? Correct. So, sin square alpha minus sin square beta. Nahi, kai? Sin, bola. What should be the distance formula for PQ? Sin alpha dash minus sin beta dash whole square cos alpha dash minus cos beta dash whole square is equal to, yes, sin beta minus sin beta dash minus alpha dash minus 0 bracket square plus cos beta dash minus alpha dash minus 1 bracket square. Is that right? So let us expand. Is equal to sin square implies sin square alpha dash plus sin square beta dash plus 2 sin alpha dash sin beta dash minus plus cos square alpha dash plus cos square beta dash minus 2 cos alpha dash cos beta dash is equal to, hello, काय नाही चुकून लागला. Okay. Okay. Sin beta dash minus alpha dash bracket square plus cos beta dash minus alpha dash bracket square plus 1 minus 2 cos beta dash minus alpha dash. Is that correct? So now sin square alpha dash plus cos square alpha dash 1, we haven't checked it, missed. If theta belongs to R, will these identities be true or not? Do you know distance? Let terminal, what we said, let terminal ray intersect unit circle at P, X, comma Y. Correct? So how much is this distance? How much is this distance? 1. And using distance formula, how much is this distance? X minus 0 bracket square plus y minus 0 bracket square. So this is equal to x square plus y square. Terminal ray intersects unit circle at x comma y. So this is x square plus y square is equal to 1. But what was our x? X was cos theta. And what was our y? Sin theta. So this identity is true. And if this is true, remaining 2 will be true. Dividing by sin square, dividing by cos square. So in the new definition of sin, cos, tan, those identities continue to remain true, which we are going to use here. Sin square alpha dash plus cos square alpha dash is equal to 1. So this implies 1 plus cos square beta dash plus sin square beta dash is equal to 1 minus 2 sin alpha dash sin beta dash minus 2 cos alpha dash cos beta dash, that is what is LHS, is equal to, again, sin square something and cos square something is 1 plus 1, 2 is equal to 2 minus 2 cos beta dash minus alpha dash. Is that true? Is this statement correct? So these 2 and these 2 get cancelled, minus sign gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled, and hence you end up getting identity cos of beta dash minus alpha dash is equal to cos beta dash cos alpha dash plus sin beta dash sin alpha dash. Is it true? That is what is the identity that we got using the distance. We measured actually the same distance in 2 different ways. One individual angle and another combined angle. Now the question is, can I replace these alpha dash and beta dash by alpha and beta or not? That is what we want to do. RHS there is no problem because we said cos theta is equal to cos theta dash. So cos beta dash will be cos beta. Cos alpha dash will be cos alpha. Sin beta dash will be sin beta. Sin alpha dash will be sin alpha. However, we need to do something over here. Why is cos beta dash minus alpha dash also equal to cos beta minus alpha? Because this beta dash could be 1000. Alpha dash could be minus 320. And then 1000 minus 320 is 1320. We don't know what will happen to that 1300. So let us see. So now cos, let beta dash, can I write it like this? Beta is equal to 2n pi plus beta dash. Exactly similarly. Can I write it? Beta is equal to 2n pi plus beta dash. Can I write alpha is equal to 2m pi plus alpha dash, some other constant, some another integer here, right? So now I am interested in finding out beta dash minus alpha dash. So I take difference of these two. So beta minus alpha is equal to 2n pi minus 2m pi plus beta dash plus alpha dash minus alpha dash, which is equal to 2 pi inside bracket n minus m plus beta dash minus alpha dash. So what is n minus m? N was integer, m was integer. So what is n minus m? Yet another integer. So therefore beta minus alpha is 2 pi integer times beta dash minus alpha dash. Therefore cos of beta minus alpha is equal to cos of this quantity. But this quantity, this is rotational history of that terminal ray. Finally it will go and rest at this position. Arey, samajhte ka? And therefore we are not really bothered about what this number is. Finally cos beta minus alpha is going to be equal to cos of beta dash minus alpha dash, and hence everything there can be replaced, and we get a very important formula: cos of beta minus alpha is equal to cos beta cos alpha plus sin beta sin alpha, where alpha comma beta belong to real numbers, any real number, nothing to do with 0 to 2 pi etc. Any real number is acceptable, and still that formula will be true. This formula will be true for all values of alpha and beta belonging to R. This is very important statement, that this formula is true for all alpha beta belonging to R. And therefore now if I want to find out cos beta plus alpha is what, then is it okay, or shall I do the entire work again, or I can modify here itself and do it? I can always modify here itself. This is cos of beta minus alpha. Yes or no? So putting value alpha is equal to opposite of alpha in original formula, I will generate beta plus alpha. ले हो गया. Write down the formula for beta plus alpha. Cos of beta plus alpha. So, bolo. Wherever alpha is there, I am going to put opposite of alpha. Therefore, cos beta, cos opposite of alpha, plus sin beta, sin opposite of alpha. So now we need to remember few things when we are learning, because we don't have time in between to go home and study. Okay. So what is cos of opposite of alpha? Cos alpha. So cos of beta, cos of alpha. What is sin of opposite of alpha? Minus sin of alpha. So I can take that sign minus here, and hence I get the formula sin beta sin alpha. So cos of difference of two angles is cos cos plus sin sin. Cos of difference of two angles is cos cos plus sin sin. And cos of summation of two angles is cos cos minus sin sin. That is how we are supposed to remember. Now we require two more: sine of difference of two angles and sine of summation of two angles. So how do we go about it now? Before that, maybe let us do some earlier stuff, whether it is true or false. We have got this formula: cos of beta minus alpha is equal to cos beta cos alpha plus sin beta sin alpha, right? So now let us find out how much is cos of pi by 2 minus alpha, where alpha is not the angle between 0 to pi by 2, but any general angle belonging to R. Alpha can be 5000 also, and pi by 2 is pi by 2. So how much will be cos pi by 2 minus alpha? Putting it into the formula. Putting it into the formula, what we get is cos pi by 2 cos alpha plus sin pi by 2 sin alpha. Now we need to remember now these values. What is cos pi by 2? Unit circle, terminal ray vertical along y positive axis, and its x coordinate 0. 0 times cos alpha plus pi by 2, its y value 1. 1 times sin alpha is equal to sin alpha. So this old identity is still true. Cos pi by 2 minus alpha is sin alpha, for alpha being any value of real number, any real number. True. Now I want to prove sin pi by 2 minus alpha. What should I do? It should be cos alpha eventually. But how do I prove it? I put this value over here. Let alpha is equal to pi by 2 minus alpha. Let alpha is equal to pi by 2 minus alpha. Therefore, I get sin pi by 2 minus alpha. So, I put alpha is equal to pi by 2 minus alpha here, which should be equal to cos pi by 2 minus pi by 2 minus alpha, which is cos alpha. So that identity is also true. Pi by 2 minus theta is its complement of that angle. Good. Now how do we find out cos of beta minus alpha? Or sorry, beta minus alpha we have found out. Now we want to find out sin beta minus alpha. चला विचार करा, how do we get sin beta minus alpha? How do we find out sin beta minus alpha now?
Cos of pi by 2 minus bracket beta minus alpha.
Very good. Good idea. Because we have got formula for cos, we exploit that formula of cos. So let us try. So cos of pi by 2 minus beta minus alpha. But maybe we will check whether we are successful or you get sin beta minus alpha. Yes, you get sin beta minus alpha back. That is the problem. If we expand this using cos, we get sin beta minus alpha, which is correct. Sin beta minus alpha is always equal to sin beta minus alpha. But we were not interested in that. We were interested in expansion of sin beta minus alpha, and maybe we do this expansion by this way, cos of pi by 2 minus beta plus alpha. This is one and the same thing. Now do that expansion.
Substituted alpha is this.
Sin pi by 2 minus alpha. Here you substitute what?
What have I done here?
How did you get that? From here. So this is the identity that I am using. Cos pi by 2 minus alpha is equal to sin alpha. Now I want to find out sin pi by 2 minus alpha. Therefore for alpha I have to replace pi by 2 minus alpha. For the value of alpha I replace pi by 2 minus alpha. So wherever alpha is there in this formula, I have to replace pi by 2 minus alpha. And then I simplify this bracket, I end up getting alpha. Trick hai. Just this bracket or that bracket. If we take one bracket, we end up getting sin beta minus alpha again, which is also true, not that it is not true. But if we just flip the bracket, we get another identity. Sin beta minus alpha is sin beta cos alpha minus cos beta sin alpha. So this, if you expand, we get sin beta cos alpha minus cos beta sin alpha. And now the next one is easy. put opposite of alpha. Instead of alpha, put opposite of alpha. You will get sin beta cos alpha plus cos beta sin alpha. Now these are 4 important formulae. We need to find out the method of remembering it. Have you got all the 4 formulae ready with us? Now we need to remember them. So how do we remember? Or maybe from here, sin A plus B, sin A plus B, sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. So sin of summation is sin cos plus cos sin. Sin of difference, sin cos minus cos sin. Cos of difference, cos cos plus sin sin. Cos of summation, cos cos minus cos sin. Zamel sagyanna? Okay. Very good. So now we have got the basic 4 tools ready with us. With this, let us derive few more formulae and maybe then derive few more tools. So, to find out what is sin 2a, what is cos 2a, what is sin 2a? Is sin a plus a. Do we know a something plus something? Cos of something plus something. So sin 2a should be doable. Chala kara. Just start doing it. Sin 2a. Good. No, short for long. Sin cos. Cos square a minus. Yes. So cos 2a. Cos square a minus sin square a. Cos square a minus sin square a. Sin 2a is 2 sin a cos. But now we know cos square and sin square, they are related. So if I want to express in terms of sin, 1 minus 2 sin square a and 2 cos square a is also cos a. So cos a can be, cos 2a can be written in 3 different ways. Cos square a minus sin square a, 1 minus 2 sin square a, cos square 2 cos square a minus 1. Now let us find out sin 3 in terms of sin a. Sin 3a in terms of sin a.